We're continuing our study of the Seminar of Jacques Lacan, Book 1, Freud's Papers on Technique, 1953 to 1954. In this lesson, let's finish up what remains of Chapter 19, The Creative Function of Speech, and briefly summarize Chapter 20, which is in Latin, and I believe you pronounce it De locutionis significatione. When last we left off, we were talking about how Lacan says at that moment in therapy, when the patient reveals the object of his desire, the analysis is only at the level of what Lacan calls, on page 244, empty speech. We had ended with the question, if it's not enough for the patient to identify what it is he or she wants, then what even is the goal of therapy? For Lacan, therapy is about getting the patient to realize that it's not a specific object per se that the patient wants, so much as the acceptance of himself or herself as the kind of creature that wants anything at all. It's not that people don't want specific things, it's that wanting specific things is not the important thing. It's that wanting in itself is the important thing. This is the insight that Lacan wants the patient to wake up to. And it's the kind of thinking that underlies his remarks on Freud when he says the following, quote, Freud shows us how speech, that is, the transmission of desire, can get itself recognized through anything, provided that this anything be organized in a symbolic system. There we have the source of what was for so long the indecipherable character of the dream. Lacan says that on page 244. He is talking about the indecipherable character of the dream, but it has to do with the issue of therapy more broadly. Unconscious human wants are always poised at the precipice of wanting to get translated into speech, into a symbolic system. The clinical setting helps coax the unconscious into this symbolic space and make it clear that the patient is trying to become the cause of his own desire, the cause of his own wanting. Lacan explains this awaited recognition of the subject like this. On page 244, he says, quote, the desire which is unconscious, that is to say impossible to express, nonetheless finds a means of expression through the alphabet, the phonematics of day residues, themselves disinvested of desire. So it is a phenomenon of language as such. To be sure, in analysis, in comparison with what happens in dreams, there is this essential supplementary dimension, namely that the other is there. But note also that dreams become more clear, more analyzable, as the analysis makes progress. End quote. The next chapter, chapter 20, mainly involves a priest's reading of St. Augustine. Much of this is not too helpful, frankly. Lacan, through his own supplementary interpretation, wants to say that St. Augustine's reading of psychology into language is in line with Lacan's own and Freud's original project. Maybe that's true, maybe not. Anyway, let's stop there. Thank you for listening.